Hey FLOSSTUBE, it's Leigh from Creative Leigh on Sunday the 19th of December with FLOSSTUBE number 105. So if it's the 19th, 30 days till I turn 50. Freaky. Excuse me, asthma. Yeah, that's crazy, right? So FLOSSTUBE number 105. It's probably a real quick one. I haven't done a lot of stitching. I've stitched on one thing and it's a new start that you don't know about, but you'll see it soon. And then I might just do a quick little whip parade, what I've got still to do. A couple of them maybe finished by the end of the year. A couple of things to show you. That's pretty much it. So it should be a pretty quick one today. It's the second sunny day in a row. We haven't had rain, so the humidity's down, which is fantastic because me and humidity don't get on. But it's a bit windy today. It's going to be windy for the next few days. I have 2.5 days left at work this year. Hooroo. I'm very excited about that. So, cheers to a cold brew for that. I received some happy mail from Danny in Cardiff, Wales. I'm just covering her address. It's a poster coaster, a coaster in the mail, which is so cute. So I think it's really awesome, and it is a little coaster of Wales, which I'm going to keep in my craft room on my desk, or my office I should say. And when I stitch, when I drink out of my Scottish mug, my McDonald mug, I can put that on my Welsh coaster. So thank you, Danny. I haven't messaged you to say I received it, but it's a nice thick coaster, quality coaster. So that's pretty cool. So that was a nice little thing in the mail. And I had a question or two over the last couple of weeks, having shown some of my kitted up projects and stuff, about how I make my floss tags. I have a couple of tag punches that I make the tags out of. This one is an old Creative Memories punch I've had for a million years. This is a Fiskars punch. And then I use hole punches, various size hole punches for the holes. So the tags themselves measure about 2 by 3 inches, you know, from tip to bottom. This card was a little bit thick for the punch, so I buggered up the hole. But usually a punch is nice and cleanly. But this one, this size can hold a hank of silk. It's a 1.5 inch diameter hole. That's a Fiskars punch that I have. And this one I showed. This is a 1 inch diameter hole. Excuse me. And I use this for a half a hank or multiple skeins. So if you had 2 or 3 skeins of floss that you wanted to use for a project, that will easily hold those. I make these little tags to hold either a skein or you can hold a bit more, up to a skein of floss when I pull floss for this different project. So if I'm pulling, I don't know, a dozen strands off of my master floss card, and I'll make up a little card for that, and I can put the symbol on it and what the source is, and then I can return it back to its master set. But I just make these, I just cut strips of card on a trimmer, on a paper trimmer. These are 2 inches by 1.5 inches, and then I use a corner rounder. You get less snags with a corner, so then I corner round, normal hole punch, and then I use it's about a 5/8 diameter Fiskars punch that I use on that one there. But you can put these, you can put a 2 inch hole on this. It fits if you wanted to put more floss. whatever. So I guess essentially I just use punches and I make up my own floss cards. And I will use recycled cards. You can use box, you know, old cereal boxes, packaging, old birthday cards, Christmas cards, etc. Because usually I throw these away. I make them up for projects and then I'll throw them away. I might get a couple of uses out of them, but generally, because I put the symbol for the project when I pull the floss, that way I can just look for the symbol and don't have to use the floss key all the time. That's just what I do. So I decide for the project what I want to do. I tend to keep, if I'm using one of the name brand Overdyes, Classic Colourworks, Gentle Arts, etc., I tend to leave them on their little cards, but I might write the symbol on the little card. I'm going to just pause for a minute while I have a bit of a cough, and I'll be back. Okay, I'm back, far out. Something's in the atmosphere today and I'm struggling with oxygen, but that's okay, we'll go through. If you see this video, I survived basically. Okay, so that's just a little tip and trick, I guess. Do with it what you will. And another little thing before we get into my actual stitching, I've been wanting to tidy up my floss for a while. So my master said I keep bobbinated, I'm a happy bobbiner, and I have 5 of these, I think, with 4 of them for my DMC standards, and then I've got one that has, devil's thread, the metallic, colorist variations, etc. Some of my cardboard bobbins, let me find a good example. Some of my cardboard bobbins I have had for a million years, and they, like, literally since the 80s. That's the 1980s, not the 1880s, just in case you weren't sure. And they are looking a little tired. There's a couple of really bad examples, or good examples, depending on your perspective. So, they're munted, they're dirty. When I put them in the box, when I squish them in, because I'm rough as guts, if I squish it in, it gets so, they just look crap. So, oh my god, and I'm really naughty about, I had some cut, right, and I just wind it back on. So, and I can't tuck it anymore because it's all there. Anyway, so I decided that I'd transfer my floss over time to plastic bobbins. Generally I don't like plastic. If there's a good alternative, I'd go for it. But some floss things I've had to upgrade the cardboard, and because these are the ones that haven't completely got munted. Like, I have had to do new floss cards over time, and then you can't transfer the sticker. I don't know, they're a mess. So I decided to transfer to plastic bobbins. So I started buying some plastic bobbins whenever there's a sale at Spotlight. I don't have enough yet, but we'll get there. But I hadn't done anything with them because I didn't know what I was going to do about the stickers. Then a New Zealand lady on one of the Facebook groups posted that she had for sale from her business called Orderly Stitching. She is here. So for people in New Zealand, or who people that don't mind waiting for shipping and paying for shipping, that's her there. So Orderly Stitching is in nice and tidy, because Capricorn. .etsy.com. Oh, she's on Etsy, and at Orderly Stitching on Instagram. Made in New Zealand, and she sells packets of stickers. So you can get just the DMC, the 500 DMC numbers, or you can get a set that has, which is what I got, has all the devil's thread and everything in them. And I've started transferring them onto the plastic. They stick really well. They're lovely and shiny. They're shiny pre-cut stickers. They peel off really nicely. Now I'm going to line it back up again. And here's and they sort of have a representation of the colour. So, you know, DMC colours, and there's your variegated and devil's thread here. And they're really lovely. So the pack that has the full DMC range has 8 sheets. They were, I don't know, I don't remember what they were, reasonable I thought. They're really, really lovely quality. So if anyone's interested, I recommend wholeheartedly, as they are quality stickers, they peel nicely, they stick nicely. And so I've started rebobinating, and there is, you know, let's do a before and after. You know, it's a marked difference. It's a little bit messy because this has got some shorter pieces. I keep all my short bits I cut off, I just wind them back on, but let's do a pristine one. Here's a pristine one. There you go. Like, it's not even, you can't even compare, right? It's, yeah. So they are beautiful. So the stickers and the plastic makes me happy. I started winding yesterday during a couple of Teams calls, and it made me joyous. The other thing I like about the plastic bobbins is they are slightly shorter than the cardboard bobbins. So they fit in the box face up. I like them face up, I don't like them sideways. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. So I will just keep winding when I feel like it. I need to get some more plastic bobbins, so I'll wait for a sale. I'll get a $10 voucher for my birthday at Spotlight, so I'll probably use that to buy some bobbins. Might be able to see how like much more tidy it is with the plastic than it is with the old ones. You can tell these are newer colours that I've potentially never used these colours before. Those of you who know me may understand why I've never used these colours before, because those are some bright ass pinks. But anyway, so I've got Murukata's Orderly Stitching on Etsy. I'm sure they're shipping, because it's a flat, you know, I'm sure the shipping to overseas wouldn't be too bad. And then she sent, also, there was a Wild Stocks Last, a little freebie, a little wood stitching chip. She sells these as well. Different things. She's got circles and hearts. I don't know what other shapes. So I don't know what I'll do with that. And there was also a DMC inventory list that came, which I don't need because I've got all of the colours, but that's still nice. Anyway, I got that. So that was kind of exciting to have those two things come together without real planning, and I'm really happy with it. Jeanette Douglas Design. She has decided to do a monthly sale, free sale this year for 2022, using designs that she has done largely for as freebies for various shops and retreats and things that didn't happen. I know that one of them, so she's put them together and she'll release one chart per month, but she has released the border. It's available on her website. I know this one here I've stitched already on Ada. That was released last year as part of the Be Well kind of stay home and stitch, be well and stitch. So I've stitched that one. But yeah, so there's the cover, mini bouquet sampler. She gives you instructions on the border. I think you get the download on her website, but she'll remind people through various places, including Facebook page and stuff. Yes, I thought, you know what, it's kind of cute. I'll use my own silks and things. I'm not going to buy the called for. It's quite a list. With part of the border download, you get a list of all of the flosses that are used across the charts, and the symbols are what you need for the border. So the border includes a kind of sort of a white work, it's a white border around the edge, and then these 3 little rows. And that will be January's, the pineapple bouquet will be January. So I need to find some fabric. I'm not really worried about keeping up to date with it. May or may not stitch it at all, but I do think it would be a nice little something monthly rather than a monofocal embroidery. Yeah, so let's have a look at what I've been stitching. So I've been trying to get my whips down and I go and start something. I actually started this on the 5th of December and I forgot and didn't show you last week, so apologies, I guess. But my friend Judith linked me this chart ages ago, and I was going to do it on 46 count or 45 like it's called for, but I wanted to change the threads, which it's called for 103, but I couldn't find anywhere that I could really make decisions about. So anyway, it's Anne Morison, circa 1830. It's a Scottish sampler from Hands Across the Sea, and she's lent it to me, which is very kind because she hasn't even stitched it yet, but she does have it kitted up. But I, in the end, threw a tizzy and just decided to stitch it on whatever I had, which was some 40 count Parchment from Country Stitch. It's half of a piece that I had for some other project. And I'm using my own silk conversion, which is largely silks for you, but also a quite variegated silk and colour for the burgundy sort of colour. And I've got a couple of other random ones in there, like the light blue is a Krenak silk mori, which is horrible to stitch with, so I'm glad. And it's and that was one of the threads that I got in the box I got from Gail, so thank you, Gail. That one, oh, I think the so the burgundy and the blue are from Gail. All I've stitched this week is on this, and you know me, doesn't take me long, so done quite a bit. The gaps are where I'm going to change the personalization. I'm not going to do Anne Morison. I'm not going to use the and here's a whole lot of initials and things. They won't be what's called for. I'm thinking that I might make this sort of a memorial sampler because of the hearts for my maternal grandparents, because their names will fit down here. So I'm going to put Joan and Roy Hall, and possibly their wedding, like their wedding date. And then the big initials here will be their initials, and then the other smaller initials, so there's quite a few on this sampler. I'll do all of their children, including like my mother and her twin and stuff. So I'll make sure that Mum and Claire's initials are together. And try and put them in order of birth, so from my Uncle Barry down to my Uncle Nuki, with the 5 girls in between. And then on the back of the, when I, however I finish it, I'll make sure I add details that I have, like of birth dates and stuff like that, so just so that it becomes a, yeah, that's what I'm thinking I'm going to do. I love stitching eyelets. Now some people hate eyelets. I love eyelets, so I really enjoyed this heart is all Algerian eyelets. This row here is all Algerian eyelets, as is this and this alphabet here. So this section here is all Algerian eyelets, and I freaking love them. These 2 big initials, which will be Nana and Grandad, they will be done in Algerian eyelets as well, and the other little initials are more like one of these small alphabets. Last night I joined Sam and Judith. We just did a couple of hours on a messenger chat, did a stitch together, and while I was on that call I basically finished this band and that alphabet, and then when I hung up the call, and I'd started the blue line, then I hung up the call and realised I'd I was about here when we hung up the call. And as I got here, I realised I was way too close to here. And I was like, what have I done? Back here, I had gone 1 0 for the 10, then I'd done 11, and then I did another, and then I did another one, and then I had 12, so I had an extra one in here. So I decided, I finished off the 20, and it stuck, just moved where the X was, and then I took out one of the ones between 10 and 11, I just put another period in there, because I figure 1 to 10 makes sense, and 11 to 20 makes sense, because I was not, otherwise I sort of just had this random, I had 10, 1, 11, 12. Make it work. What else have I changed? The colours are sort of like the original, but my greens are quite different. Pinks are probably a bit pinker. Up here in this row, because I'm actually running out of floss, because I'm stitching with some, like the pinks, and some of them are just 10 metre skeins, and I'm running a bit low, so I've subbed out some colours, I've moved some colours around. Up here in this band here, this green band is supposed to be like this, have burgundy in it, but I've added just a bit of yellow, because there's no other yellow. There's that yellow, and then I've stitched it as yellow. That D, what is that letter? G backwards. That letter, and here is the yellow, otherwise there's no yellow, so I added a bit in there. I've swapped greens, so this green is very similar to this green, but actually it's a slightly different batch lot, because I've run out of that green. There's quite a bit to go, so I've just messed around with it a little bit. So the colours are fresher, I think, because this is quite yellowy. My pinks are definitely more pink, less coral, which is funny because I actually wanted to go more coral, but those are the colours I had. I'm really happy with it. So yeah, I'll probably finish this week, but except for the personalisation, I don't think I'll get the personalisation done. Like, oh yeah, I've got to make sure I get everyone's names right. Like my Uncle Nuke, what's his first name? My Uncle Nuke gets a nickname, Lawrence. I think it's Lawrence. I'm not sure if Lawrence is his first name or his second name. I need to check with some of my family's names, how they're spelt. And I think my grandmother, I think Joan was her first name. You know how like often people are known by their second names? Or not their name, like my dad growing up, like anyone in the family doesn't call him Graham, he's called Pee-wee, because that's what he was known as. My uncle Nuki was known as Nuki, even though that wasn't his name, so that was a nickname. So yeah, sometimes you got to look them up. Oh, my Aunt Anne, that's her middle name. She's actually Margaret. So I kind of need to check who's got what name, and I probably won't get that done until the new year, but I'll get it ready for all the personalisation, and then I'll have to sit down with some graph paper and chart all that out. But anyway, I'm really enjoying that. Oh, I think I'm going to hem stitch it as well to finish it. Yeah, that's all I've been stitching on this week, which was nothing, not really in the original whip pile, but I just felt like doing it. And I also want to give Judith her chart back. Okay, so that's all of that. I'm going to do a little whip parade in a minute, which I only have five or six whips, so it won't take very long. I've ironed everything though, because I'm a good girl. What's coming up? So I don't know if I will get a video up next Sunday. It's going to be Boxing Day. I've got Dad here. At this stage I've got friends coming for like lunch, afternoon tea kind of thing. I just don't think I'll get a video up. So if you do see a video from me, it'll be a bonus, but otherwise just enjoy your Christmas, and I'll be back in the new year, I guess. On the 2nd of January, which is a Sunday, I'll drop Dad off at the airport midday-ish or late morning, I think, and then we will then I'll come home and I will film and put up a 2021 finish video. I did that last year. So then you'll see an update on that one if I get it finished, and an update on I'll probably have one, I will have one or two other finishes. There'll be sort of surprise, 2 finishes. There won't be that much of a surprise, I'm going to tell you in a minute what they are. And I will have a new start on the, planning a new start on the 1st of January, which will be Mystic Moments 1, the chart that was gifted to me, wrapped to me by Danny. And that will be, I won't have that much done because I'll be tired, because we'll probably have a late night on New Year's Eve, and also Dad's here, but still, one moment. Okay, I'm back. I had sneeze. This allergy thing is just driving me nuts. Am I gonna make it through summer? I don't know. Okay, so yeah, anyway, just wanted to let you know that, yeah, I'm not going to bust my gut to get a video out next Sunday. If it's going to create stress and stuff, I'm just not going to bother. And I might sneeze again, so apologies. I don't know if I'll stop the video again. Okay, let's quickly get on and do a bit of a whip parade. So this shouldn't take too long, so I don't have that much in no particular order. So I'll just whip through my whips and let you know where I'm at with them. Most of them you'll have seen relatively recently. There is one you haven't seen for a while though, because I just haven't worked on it this year. I just decided work on other things. Anyway, so first up we've got the spot sampler that is from Cross Stitcher magazine, July 2020. This is a copy off of Oriental, the magazine app. This is on 32 count neutral linen. I don't know what colour it is. It's sand or neutral or something. With the mostly called for DMC, I made a couple of changes because I could. And I've also, because I've stuffed up some of the counting, I have had to adjust it a little bit. Little tweaks, nothing substantial. Okay. I haven't stitched on it since you saw it last, which might have been last week. I can't remember, but there it is there, ironed this week. So that's nearly the top up here. Not that much to do, and it's kind of fun. It's just a fun little stitch, although I hate the chart. I hate the quality of the chart. I intensely dislike the quality of the chart. So that's whip number 1. May get that finished by the end of the year. Yeah, I probably will, to be fair. Next up, I've got Oriental Lady Grace by Joan Elliott. This is just a photocopy from the Oriental stitching book. I can't remember what it's called. Does it say on here? Nope. Which I'm stitching on 32 count linen in the colourway Topor from Country Stitch using called for DMC. This I started on the 27th of February. And again, I haven't stitched on it since you last saw it, but I'm pretty much at the halfway, just over the halfway mark, and it's all back stitched up to where there are no, except for where a colour will be next to it, a currently unstitched area. And I do love this fabric. So that's whip number 2, Oriental Lady Grace. So I do intend to get her finished next year, but just not before Christmas. The next 2 go together. We've got Sunrise and Sunset by Carolyn Manning Designs. And I just haven't stitched on these for a few months. Once I realised I wouldn't get them done by the end of the year, I just concentrated on things that I would get done. So we've got Sunrise and Sunset. I'm just stitching the large main design for these 2. These are both on fabric from Tommy Lily Designs. Sunrise is on 20 count Ada Soleil, and I started this one on the 22nd of December 2020. Then a few weeks later I thought, stuff it, I'll start the other one as well. And Sunset is on a 20 count Ada Kurai, in the colourway Kurai. I don't know how to say that. My school French teacher had a very Kiwi accent, and I started this one on the 12th of January 2021. And I just pulled some DMC and put them onto cardboard bobbins with the symbols and the DMC numbers as well. Here is here is Sunrise, which is about 3/4 done. I think it was 65% done, or no, I think it was about 76% done or something. I'm using Pattern Keeper for these. Certainly once I put them into Pattern Keeper, they are much quicker to stitch. And here is Sunset, which is just, gosh, I have to finish these. Like, I pulled them out now, I'm like, oh, I totally could just like load up Pattern Keeper on my stand and just go for it, but I really, if I can finish two or three more projects this year, that would make me, I'd rather do that. I'd rather get the finishes, I think. So that's whips number 3 and 4. Oh yeah, whip number 5 is not in this bag. The Peppermint Purple Blackwork pattern sale for 2021, which I only have 3 weeks to do, so the week just gone and 2 more weeks. I haven't done the other week, haven't done that. Haven't done last week's yet. I'll wait till do them all together probably. So that's ready to go. So that will definitely be finished by the end of the year, but the last pattern only drops just before New Year's. So you'll see this as part of my finish parade, but it will be newly finished. That's on 18 count Antique White Ada. That's number 5. Number 6 you haven't seen for ages. I don't even know if I have a good picture of it. Do I don't really have a good picture of it. No, I don't. I'm sorry. It is Save the Stitches from Liz Almond, which is from her website or blog, Blackwork Journey. It's free, or it was at least a while ago. I'm stitching this on 28 count Antique White Lugana, and I'm using DMC Pearl number 12 in black, as well as DMC 310. I'm using DMC Diamond Metallic in gold, copper and pewter with matching Mill Hill beads. I started this on the 1st of January. There are 24 parts to it. I had thought, well, I'll stitch 1 part a month for 2 years, and it just didn't happen. I started too many things and I had too many whips, and I love stitching this, but I only kind of want to do one black work thing at a time, and I ended up with 2 or 3, and that overwhelmed me a bit. So I just decided, put this aside, focus on getting some of the other whips down. At this stage, this is going to be my only black work piece in my arsenal, and I want to work on it next year. So this might become something that I do a part a month. But anyway, I have 2 months done, 2 of the 24 parts done. And so it varies, it's very close to the called for, except instead of silver, I'm doing copper, and yeah, it is beautiful. It's beautiful up close. It's fun to stitch. I really want to focus on this next year, but yeah, I just haven't. So that's whip number 6, and I guess with Anne Morison, I've gone back up to 7. So I have 7 whips. I think I got up to 19, I think, some stage this year. Some of those were quite large when you think about, I finished 2 long dogs this year, Arcade and Life After Death. I can't remember when I finished Hoity Toity. Did I finish that this year? The whip parade's going to be, sorry, the finish parade's going to be interesting because I can't even remember what I finished this year. I have to go through my cupboard, and luckily I have all these little cards and I have them in a pile, so I can go through the cards, put them in order, and then I can get ready for my whip parade. Sorry, I keep saying that. I can get ready for my finish parade for the 2nd of January. I may even pre-record some of that so that it's not so painful for me. It won't be painful, any more painful for you. But that's it. So yeah, so far 7 whips. I expect to finish, I expect to get pretty close to a finish with Anne Morison. As I said, I may not get the personalisation done. I'll finish this black work. I'm going to try and finish the peacock one. I won't touch Lady Grace. If I finish everything and I've got nothing else to stitch on, I'll pick up Sunset. And that's it really. There's nothing else really to tell you about. Okay, that video, given I stitched on one thing this week, it's sitting at 40 minutes, 44 minutes. I've got to cut out quite a bit of coughing and sneezing. Thanks for watching. Thanks again for all your support. If I don't see you next week, well, no, I'm going to say now, have a safe and happy Christmas. Just be safe. It's weird out there. It's weird. Be safe and hope you find some time to do some stitching. Don't let it stress you out though. If you don't feel like it, don't worry about it. You'll get your stitchy bug back. Just do something else. Organise some floss or something. Look on Etsy for charts. Do something to make you feel like you're still part of the community, even if you don't feel like stitching. It's okay. Like we've got lots of days. We'll get there. And otherwise, have a Merry Christmas or Merry festive season, and I will see you in the new year. So yeah, I guess if I don't see you next week, have a really happy new year as well. Let's see what 2022 brings. All bets are off. As always, don't let your needles rust. Ciao.